So are you gonna cook?
MJ, you're a grown man. You can cook.
I don't know how to use the oven.
What do you need the oven for?
Pancakes.
You don't cook pancakes in the oven, man. All right, give me a second, man. I think it's honestly almost a little irresponsible for Tisha to leave me at home with the kids by myself. Like, does she love these kids? We ran out of pancake juice. So Mimi, what do you want?
So I want pancakes.
Pancakes? How about if I cook cereal or eggs?
I want pancakes.
Well, we got eggs. I may have put too much oil in this. And you want waffle?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you just get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What? I found out that MJ's allergic to peanut butter, which is weird. Macy, you want some waffles? Come here. Like, what kind of woman leaves the dad at home by themselves with the kids?
Yay!
Macy, do you like syrup?
I don't like it.
You don't like waffles? So why'd you have to make these waffles if you didn't want them?
You said you want waffles. I said,
I didn't hear you. What do you want? You want a peanut butter and jelly? Business meeting.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Miss Kafue. So in today's video, we are talking about married single mothers. Hey, I'm sure most of us can relate to this. I'm sure you know what this means. So ladies, in this video is very interesting, and this is a video that I want you to stick by until the end. In this video, women share their experiences, their signs that you're a married single mother. Like, it's interesting to watch and hear. So ladies, let's jump right into this video the way we normally do it, and then I'll be back to give my take on it.
I just feel like you could have been nicer to me.
Oh my gosh, well I feel like you could have done 80 more things today than you did. I feel like I woke up and I cleaned our room, I did our bed, I cleaned the sheets, I did the laundry, I put your clothes away, I come in the kitchen, nothing's done. So I do everything, then I make you breakfast, then I get the baby ready, then I get myself ready. And what do, Michael? You just tell me I could have been nicer. That seems pretty nice to me. And you thought I was pretty nice last night. Super nice. Woo!
I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Let's talk about this clip. So this is a pursuer withdrawer conflict cycle. She is protesting lack of partnership. She's protesting this disconnect she's feeling. She's actually saying is, do you see me? Do you see all the stuff I'm doing? Do you see how hard I'm working? Are you in tune with my needs? She might have said this in softer ways. She might have been conditioned to not say anything and kind of stuff it down until she explodes. Her move now that she's gone for a while, feeling like her needs are not being met, is to move into critical blaming. And that's going to trigger her husband to be like, whoa, bro, just be nice to me. And his move is likely going to be to shut down, disconnect, and move to this place of I can't do anything right. Partner's too demanding. She can't be pleased. Just get me out. Which is going to communicate to her she really is alone. Her partner really isn't with her, and she's going to escalate more.
So today is my 3-year wedding anniversary, and I can without a doubt say that this has been hands down the most depressing, miserable, horrible 3 years of my life. I have literally never been so depressed. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. While I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him, he goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck, but he works. That is all he does. I am in a different town because I had to take my kids to their football practice, and I asked him to watch our daughter, and you know what he did? He slept. He slept since he got home. What did I do? I did homework. I fed the kids. I took my son to speech. I went to the bank. I paid people to mow my yard because, you know, he can't mow the yard anymore. Like I said, made sure homework got done. I got them ready for football. I took them to football. I tried taking care of myself and went on a walk, but you know, when I started realizing I hadn't heard from him, I'm calling and calling and calling and begging for the bare minimum of him to watch our fucking daughter. Excuse my language. I'm just so upset. To watch our daughter, to cut up a watermelon and to make dinner. I mean, that is absolutely bare minimum. That is not, that's not asking for much. And it's not even today. It's not even today. Oh, so then when he realizes that he's almost running out of time and we're going to be home soon, he's like, oh, I can't because I don't have this. So you know what a normal person would do? They'd be like, oh, I don't have that. Let me go get it. But guess what? He has 30 minutes until everybody's going to be home. So he's just like, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to lay now because I waited so long and now I'm mad at myself. Now I'm just not going to do anything because F it. I am 30 years old and I'm literally begging for the bare minimum every single day. I am a married single mom. That's what I am. Yeah, I don't work, but the amount of weight I carry, I have been applying for jobs. I mean, I can tell you right now, the reason women stay in shit relationships is one, because they don't have the means to leave financially, like a house. Two, the idea of a family. I can tell you why I've stayed. Money. It's that simple. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He used to want me to be a stay-at-home mom. Now he just doesn't care because he doesn't care about anything. I shouldn't have to wake a 32-year-old man up for work. No matter what shift, first, second, third, I shouldn't have to wake him up for work. I shouldn't have to tell him what time to set an alarm if I can't wake him up. I shouldn't have to call or make people go wake him up. I shouldn't tell a grown man that he probably should shower after working all day. I shouldn't have to tell him to brush his teeth. I shouldn't have to tell him to feed his kids while he's taking care of them. I shouldn't have to tell him to watch his kids. I shouldn't have to tell him what to put the kids in when it comes to clothes. I shouldn't have to tell him where the clothes are. He doesn't even know my kids' teachers' names. I shouldn't have to manage his schedule and mine and my kids. I shouldn't have to tell him, hey, you need to refill your medicine. Hey, you need a doctor's appointment. Hey, you should probably get your oil changed. Hey, your brakes don't sound good. Not only tell him, but then I have to call and schedule that oil change because will he do it himself? No. Will he call himself? No. I am raising another kid. And so what's going to happen when I get my job? I am going to be doing everything that I'm doing on top of working now. I shouldn't have to tell a grown man if he can and can't buy something because he doesn't know how much money we have, because never in his life has he ever downloaded a banking app on his phone. Never has he ever looked at a pay stub. Never has he ever even looked at a bill to see what it costs. So yeah, he might make the money, but who carries the financial weight? Who carries the way to budget the money? Who makes the grocery list? Who makes sure we have food so we can eat food? Who makes sure he has this, that, and everything else when all he gives a shit about is getting high and sleeping? Because you know what? If he's not high, he's not happy. I should not be begging a grown man for the bare minimum. On top of the bare minimum, I shouldn't have to deal with the anger outbursts, breaking my shit where my door won't even close, putting holes in my walls, threatening to kill me in front of my kids. The list could just go on and on. And yeah, I know I can leave because trust me, I am leaving. But people can't just walk out and leave one day when you have kids and 12 years of life wrapped up together. You gotta have a plan. You can't just walk away with nothing. You have to have a plan. My plan is in effect right now, but I just had a rant because I'm just baffled. I just don't want to spend another day like this. And I know I just got to get through a couple more days, couple more weeks. And then what? My kids lose their dad? When I quit forcing him to be one, when I quit forcing him to help, when he loses his job because he doesn't wake up himself, like I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just not fair. Happy 3-year anniversary to me. Happy 3 years of misery. I mean, I'm trying so hard not to be bitter, but like, I've just never disliked somebody so much that I should love, that I just don't. In sickness and health, better or worse, like, no. Like, so destroy myself and destroy my kids to keep a vow? Nope. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm waiting to get my kids from football so I can go home to a fight that I already know I'm going to go home to. So I can figure out dinner at 8:30 at night and do showers and get everything ready for the next day to do it all over again. Moms literally cannot give up. You just can't give up because nobody else is going to pick up the pieces. Dads will check out. Dads will do this. Dads will do that. But as a mom, you literally cannot, because you have to carry it. All right, I'm done ranting. I guess I should say what a perfect day to wear my Patterson Law shirt. Problems with your ex, call Rex. If you need a good lawyer, he's your guy. But don't worry, I'm not going to need a lawyer, because he's not going to fight for anything, because that's how little he cares, which, good for me, but sad for my kids.
5 signs that you are in a single married relationship and you are the wife. 5, just 5 points that says, you know what, I'm being single right now. Number 1, there's emotional disconnection. You are not connected at all with your husband. Your husband is trying to make money, doing legacy. I got it. However, sir, as I told you before, your first legacy is home. And when there's no emotional connection, the wife will feel as if I'm married, but I'm single. There's no connection. There's no lack of meaningful conversation, or most importantly, there's no intimacy. Number 2, absence of support. She feels she's doing everything. You're taking care of the home. I got it. You're bringing money in, but she still wants a partner. She doesn't want to be single. She could have stayed single and all these kids. No, remember, sir, she came to you and wanted to become your mate. She didn't become your mate to act like a widow. One more time again. She didn't come to you to act like a living widow. You're nowhere. You're here and you're there and you're not home. Loneliness, very, very simple. She feels lonely. No one to talk to. By the time you come home, you're tired, you're overworked, you're dreaming, you're not present. That's a big thing with women. You're not present at all. So it's time for you to make that move. It's time to make that shovel of a move where you say, you know what, I'm not going to stay here. Number 4, lack of quality time. Oh my goodness. Women need time. Time. Now, sir, I know you're making the money. I know, look at this mansion, look at this money, look at the ring on your finger. I got it. But a real wife wants quality time, because without quality shared experiences and time, it's going to go bad. Lastly, unfulfilled expectations. She's expecting you to be there. She's expecting you to be happy. She comes running you and you like, I'm tired. I mean, she's going to run you. I don't want nothing. She's going to run you. Don't bother me. That's her being single. Overall, you got to make that change. But madam, these are 5 signs that you are singled, married, wife. Peace.
The full extent to which I really thought that I was the main character.
And this is why women in their 30s and 40s right now have the highest divorce rate, because they are exhausted. That is the age group where they are taking care of not only themselves and working themselves outside the home, but are taking care of their children and their house and doing it all. And they don't want to do it all. And they're begging their spouses for help, and their spouses are just not getting it. And when they file for divorce, their spouses are completely blindsided, and they just go look at each other and go, I don't understand. We were happy. And the women look at him and go, happy? I've been begging you for years to help me, and you just don't care. I don't want to have to remind you to take the garbage out. I don't want to have to remind you that our kids have a school trip next week. I don't want to have to remind you that you have no underwear. Why am I doing your stuff? It's like raising another child. And unfortunately, the women would rather be single, a single mom. If they're going to do it all, do it single, than be a single married spouse.
If your wife has become a married single mother, then your relationship is likely over. Most men believe that being a financial provider, putting a roof over the family's head, is enough for them to justify their responsibilities being taken care of within a relationship. And it's no longer the case in the world we live in. The family dynamics that play out in a modern world are significantly more complex than just one individual going to work and the other individual staying home and looking after the house. It doesn't work that way anymore. The masculine energy as part of the relationship has to provide in multiple ways. Yes, financial security or stability is one element, but so is emotional stability. So is creating an environment for the family to thrive. So is leading them to be successful in their endeavors. The complexity and the different components that the masculine must take care of go way beyond just financially supporting and providing a house to live in. And this is where men have categorically got it wrong, because they believe that they have fulfilled their role way before it has actually been taken care of. There is no emotional stability. There is no safe space at home. Their wives do not feel as though they can lean into their femininity because they're being looked after, they're being cared for. The trust just isn't there. You only have to look at the number of houses with broken families to know the role is not being fulfilled. And so the result of all of this, women feel as though they just have another child to mother, somebody else they have to look after, somebody else has a burden on their life rather than a partnership that allows the entire family and themselves as individuals to thrive. This is not the result of the masculine energy. This is an immature, boyish energy trapped in a man's body. He's not looking after his family. He's not providing and protecting for them. Quite the opposite. He's becoming a burden on their shoulders, and they're largely better off without him. If a man is willing to accept and acknowledge that this is what he is creating in his family, because of his immature, childish energy, he is bringing the family down rather than building it up. It presents him the biggest opportunity for change in his life. He's enabling himself to go on the most transformational journey that he may ever experience, because he accepts the challenge to embrace his divine masculine and do what is right for his wife, his family, and his legacy.
Why is it that as moms, whenever we are going through something and we're tired or we're just having a bad day, we have to continue pushing because our kids need us? But when dad's tired, when dad came home from work and he's been working all day and he's exhausted, he needs a break. Why is it that the only alone time we get is sitting on the toilet, which doesn't even work half the time because your toddler walks in the middle of you pooping? You have to rush out of the shower because someone needs you. But dad gets a shower in peace, no interruptions. Why is it that we can go weeks and months without a full night's rest and still are able to get up and take care of our kids in the middle of the night? But God forbid dad is tired. Too many married women are single mothers. And it's really sad because two people made this child, made these children, and only one person is stepping up. How many times does someone have to repeat themselves and complain and cry until you decide no more?
For any woman wondering if you want to become a single mom or not, I compiled a list of the things that I had to add to the shit that I already did and how much harder it made my life after becoming a single mom of 4. I have 4 children. They are from middle school to elementary school. They were really little when I left. I've been gone for a few years now. These are all the things that I had to add to my life, and I'll tell you how it worked out for me. So, number 1, the biggest thing I had to do was start taking out the trash. And actually, I really did do that a lot. I'd still have to like bag it up in the house or something. So that one wasn't really a big adjustment. And now my kids are able to help because no one yells at them and tells them how they're doing everything wrong. So actually my kids take out the trash. So that one's a wash. Still somebody takes out the trash. They just do it more consistently because it's my children and they actually listen to me. Number 2, lawn care. Again, kind of a wash, because when we were married, I was the only one working, and we lived in a teeny tiny little place where we were kind of in this weird agreement, and we didn't have to pay a lot of rent, and it was like really, really kind of sketchy, and I hated it. And we didn't even have a lawn, so there was no lawn care to do. So now I have to do lawn care. But again, I have 4 children, so they usually come outside and help me, and we have a dog, so it's actually pretty fun. So yeah, that one's still not a big deal. And then the last one is babysitting. I don't have like a live-in free babysitter anymore, but actually now that I do have like friends and stuff, because I'm not trapped in this like horrible relationship, I do have people that will willingly babysit for me. Also, my children are getting a little bit older, and sometimes I can still leave them home alone. One of them's a teenager. So yeah, if you're thinking about becoming a single mom because you're like a married single mom, I promise you it's awesome. This is like really all that changed. And again, it didn't really change that much. So good luck to you out there.
Have you guys ever heard of a married single mom? Talk about a topic that'll get you really riled up if you're anything like me. I've never heard that term used before. I'll tell you what it is. It is essentially when a woman is married to a man and they have a house together, they have a bank account together, they have multiple kids together, and yet because of the amount of parental work and labor that is being put on the mother, she either basically is considered or considers herself to be a single mom. The quote-unquote father is so useless that she could be considered a single mother. I just don't understand why women aren't dating and marrying and settling down with men as much as they used to. Really.
Cannot keep doing everything around the house. I am starting to feel like what people call a married single mother. How can you be married and a single mother? That doesn't even make sense. Plus, when I met you, you were a single mom. I know I was a single mom, but you know what? When I was a single mom, I only had 2 kids instead of 3. Who's the 3rd kid? It's not me. Feels like you're an extra kid because I'm having to clean up your messes because you are not participating in keeping this house clean. You leave your clothes on the floor, you leave dishes all over. The other day you came home and your shoes were all muddy, and instead of taking them off outside or in the garage, you tracked mud through the house. Honestly, it's worse than having a 3rd kid because you're bigger. You make bigger messes. I'm working. I am exhausted. And I'm working too. But on top of that, I'm taking on the majority of the household and childcare duties. So while you come home and get to sit down on the couch and watch TV and relax, I don't get that time for myself. If you need a break, why don't you just take it? Whenever I take a break, you're constantly texting me, asking what to feed them, what they need to wear. So it's not a break for me.
You are not doing it all. I know. Because you made a few breakfasts and you ran a few errands, that it feels like you are. But in fact, you're doing the bare minimum of what I and other women have been asked, no, expected to do around the house for years and years and years. And now I am asking, expecting you help me with part of it, not all of it.
The no housework narc. Your narc does very little, if any, housework. No dishes, no laundry, no cleaning of the kitchen, no vacuuming, no toilet scrubbing, no cooking, and very little, of course, childcare. Taking kids to and from school, why should he do that? The narc may take out the trash, he may mow the lawn, and if he does any small job, he expects you to shower him with praise and throw a parade in his honor. You are killing yourself doing all the work in the home. If you have the nerve to ask the king to do any household work, he'll be furious and bite your head off, or give you the silent treatment, or give you a laundry list of the things he does do, which is a pack of lies anyway, or it's all outside the home. He'll make a big thing over how he works for a living. Well, everybody does. The narc thinks and will even say, why should I do these household jobs? They are beneath me. They are your jobs because you're the woman. You think, why am I married? There is no teamwork. I'm nothing but a slave. He doesn't care about me. You're right. He doesn't. You might as well be single because you're doing everything. In fact, that's what I'm going to recommend. You need to be single. Get away from this selfish, abusive slacker. This lack of household work around the home, that's emotional abuse. Not just selfishness and laziness. Yeah, it is that too. It's emotional abuse. Get my book, Enough is Enough, and start getting ready to be single again. Enough is Enough will show you all the other ways the narc is wounding you, and it will prepare you to leave. This book and all my resources on escaping the narc are on my website, davideclark.phd.com. That's Clark with an E.
I didn't do this by myself. I didn't make this baby by myself. It wasn't supposed to be this way. And we spend so much time in resistance. We spend so much time, and as we are resisting, it's almost like it's building a callus around our hearts. It's like we are building up all this resentment, this bitterness. The more we hold on to this ideal situation, the more resentment starts to boil up in our hearts and in our bodies. And we start to create a toxic environment within ourselves. Now we're creating dis-ease in our entire being. You have to let him live his life and go in peace. And the only way that you can truly do that is by pursuing God. I had no peace. There was no peace in my heart. I had continuous anger, filled with resentment, until I was able to sit with God and truly submit my situation to God and cry. There will be nights where you have to weep and cry and be on the floor and sliding down a wall and doing whatever, but you have to toil for your healing, because it is not easy to be left a single mother. It is not easy to have to sit and figure this out on your own. It's not easy, because when you look at that baby and you look at your situation, something ain't adding up, and you don't have everything that you need to have to make something shake for this child. It is not easy, but you have to build up. You have to build your strength. You have to become enough. You got to make it enough. You have to continue to seek the Father. You have to continue to stay on your knees. You have to continue to love, to keep a pure heart. Don't let this situation turn you cold. Don't let this situation make you hate him. Let him go. Any man that's not doing right, the Bible tells you, a man who does not take care of his family is worse than an unbeliever. God will handle the men who do not handle their responsibilities. But in the meantime, while you go over here to mind your business, you take care of you and you take care of those children. You take care of you and you pour into yourself. You seek God and let God fill your cup with joy, with peace, with happiness, with contentment. Make sure you go to God and you don't run to substances, and you don't run into the arms of another man because you are trying to supplement what was lost. Make sure you truly put God first. If you have made this mistake, if you have made the mistake of choosing the wrong man and having a child with the wrong man, you can come back from this. I do not care how many baby daddies you have, how many kids you have. You can come back from this, and you are not a lost cause. If you are still breathing, there is time for you to get it right and to get up again. The only time you lose in this life is when you just stop, when you give up altogether. You have to develop a resilience about yourself. You have to develop a persistence. You have to almost have an anger and a disdain for staying the same. You have to make sure that you are choosing to progress no matter what happens to you, no matter what happens around you, how to transmute that resentment, transmute that anger into something positive to propel you forward into a better tomorrow. You have to keep going. Your life depends on it. Your joy depends on it.
Hey Todd. Yeah. Is there a reason you set your coffee cup on the edge of the sink instead of putting it in the dishwasher right here? I don't know, I guess I just didn't really think about it. Well, if you're not going to think about it, who's going to think about it? I don't know, Margot. The day just got started. Are you really trying to ruin it now? Am I trying to ruin it, or am I trying to yet have another conversation with you about your expectations that I'm just supposed to pick up behind you? Nobody's asking you to pick up after me, Margot. But if I don't do it, who's going to do it? I feel like we've had this conversation a dozen times, Todd, where I tell you that like when you deliberately leave things out like this, it makes me feel like it's just expected that I'm supposed to come in and clean up after you. You're the clean freak, Margot. Nobody in this house can live up to your OCD clean standards. A little mess just doesn't bother me that much. Well, of course it doesn't bother you, Todd. You've never experienced living in mess before because I'm always the one picking up after you, picking up after the kids, cleaning up in here. You've never actually experienced what it's like to live in a messy house because this house never gets messy because I'm always the one cleaning it up. It's a cup by the sink, Margot. Why are you making such a big deal about this? Because it's not just about the cup, Todd. It's about the message that the cup is sending. It's sending the message that I'm going to deliberately leave this here, not put it in the dishwasher, which is right here below it, but I'm going to leave this right here because I know my wife will come in and pick up after me so I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't know how many times I've told you I hate when you make me feel like your mother, but you continually put me in that position. I don't need you to mother me, Margot. I'm a grown man. Great, then act like one. Put your dishes away in the dishwasher where they go when you're done with them. And while you're at it, go ahead and pick up the socks off the floor. Why don't you go ahead and wipe the piss off the toilet seat? Why don't you go ahead and get the clothes out of the washer before they start to smell like mildew and they start molding? I'm tired of having the same conversation over and over and over again with you, Margot. It's never enough for you. No matter what I do, it's never good enough. Oh my God.
So the other day I was looking at my child play all by herself. She's an only child and I'm a single mom of one. And I remember telling myself that I was able and I've been able to achieve the one thing that I really wanted my mom to do for me and my sister. So my sister and I grew up in a very violent home, very abusive environment. And I remember we kept on telling her, she kept on asking us, what is the one thing that you want me to do so that you guys are happy? And I kept on telling her, all we want you to do is leave dad. Because it was really bad. It was really bad. And usually I don't speak about such stuff, but I'm being vulnerable right now, so please be nice. So I remember just telling her, even my sister kept on telling her, we just want you and dad to separate because that's what is going to make us happy. We are really tired of the fighting, of the abuse, all of that. And she never left. Yeah, she stayed for most of my life. So looking at my child on her own on that day, that particular day actually, I was so proud of myself because I was this close to ending up with someone who would make not just me but my daughter unhappy for the rest of our lives. And she was at peace and she was happy and she's 8. And I know someone is going to come to a comment section and try to make me feel bad for the decision that I made 5 years ago. But coming from a childhood that was full of nothing but violence, na matusi, na vita, then let me tell you, there's nothing that can bring me down. There's nothing that can convince me that the decision that I made 5 years ago is not one of the best decisions of my life. Like, I know my daughter is going to look at me one day and be like, thank you for choosing my peace of mind over any other thing. So to any single mother out there who feels as if she made the wrong decision, choosing herself first and then choosing her kids, trust me, coming from a child who was never chosen, you did a great job and you're doing a good job. And I know it's hard and I know the society makes it look like it's such a bad thing to be a single mother. Don't get me wrong, yeah? I'm all for a mother and a father and a child, but I'm also all for, if it's a mother and a father and a child, then there should be peace, there should be respect, there should be love, and everything should be mutual. So yeah, I'm proud of myself. I achieved it, and I'm all for breaking the generational curses. I'm all for it ends with me, and it does. It ends with me. It ends with me and my daughter, at least for my generation. And I'm so proud of myself. I don't know why every time I choose to do a video on TikTok, I'm always wearing this. But yeah, it ends with us.
I keep meeting women where they've separated from the father of their children, not because of necessarily money, not necessarily because of, I don't know, all like cheating or anything. You know why they separate from the father of their children? I've met 3 women in less than 3 weeks. They've said that
You've realised that you are married, you're partnered, however, you are a single mother. Now what? Go and watch Birth of a Mother. Her content's really good. Talks about parenting, motherhood a lot. Great content. Social conditioning has done a number on all of us, men, women, and everything in between. It has done a number on all of us. Women have been conditioned to give, men have been conditioned to take, and this dynamic does not change when it comes down to parenthood. And it's causing problems for everybody. If you guys are new here, my name's Jordan. I have worked with hundreds of families going through really difficult times, and just realized that most of the women I've worked with have been fed up and pissed off. So now I am a coach for women who are fed up and pissed off and want something new from their life. They want to have great lives. If that interests you, please follow me. But let's get back into this. I cannot even count the amount of women I have worked with who will list all of the problems and issues in their relationship with the fact that their partner has not been a supportive partner. So they feel that everything is on their shoulders. They have gotten to a boiling point. They have turned around and said, you know what? I am done with this. I'm done with this relationship. And actually, it will be easier for me to be a single parent than to be a parent in this relationship with you when you're not supporting me. They've ended the relationship. They've packed up their kids and they have moved on. Now, when I talk to the father about the situation, I'm no word of a lie. Like 8 times out of 10, the father will be like, I mean, mum was stressed, but I don't really know what's gone on. There is a massive disconnect between mothers and fathers when it comes to parenting. And I think it comes down to the social conditioning. It's a problem. There was also a content creator on here. I wish I remembered their name. I wish I remembered their app, who said, and it will stick with me forever, who said that for some reason, she gave more detail, but men can allow their partner to have a level of unhappiness. They can tolerate their partner being unhappy to a particular degree for a long period of time. And that makes sense because when we have these relationships that end and we're seeing an uptick in women turning around and saying, we're done with this. This woman, this mother has been upset for a very long time. And it's almost as if their partner has been like, okay, I can see you're upset, but this is okay, tolerating this level of unhappiness and just hoping that this level of unhappiness just continues. But wouldn't the solution here be to address your partner's unhappiness rather than tolerating it? Because it doesn't seem, in most of the cases that I work with, that the partner wants the relationship to end. It just seems that there's a reluctance to make changes to make your partner's life easier and better. Women are not in a position anymore where they have to sit down and be unhappy. They can make all the changes in the world to be happy. And if that means ending a relationship, we are seeing women end relationships. I say all of that to say this. If you are finding yourself in a position where you are a married or partnered woman, but you feel that you are becoming a single mother in that you are not being supported by your partner, the father of these children, or maybe even not, but you're not feeling the support from your partner who you're supposed to be sharing your parenting role with, then open up the communication and share the fact that you will not be like sitting down and tolerating an unhappy parenting situation, that you're not going to sit down and just be unhappy. There has to be changes. There needs to be open communication about this. And if you need to get somebody in to help to mediate that conversation, someone like a coach, a therapist, whoever, make that happen. But the worst thing you can do is just keep it in. There has to be open conversations about the fact that you're not feeling supported, and it may need to be a very direct conversation and a logistical conversation about what needs to change in practical terms. That would be my advice, but let me know what you guys think, and please go and be great.
What are some unpopular opinions about parenting? I'll go first. Being a married single mother is a thing. You can decide with your husband mutually that you both want to have kids. You'll go to the hospital, give birth, and come home single mom. Why? Because our society, I don't know if this is across the world, but in America, has deemed that the mother knows more about child rearing and she's more capable. Therefore, that gives the father a green light to take a back seat on everything that he's responsible for. So the mother will plan the birthday parties, the vacations. She'll take the child to the doctor. She's on carpool line. She's figuring out what you guys are going to eat for dinner. She's clothing the child. She's doing homework, bedtime, bath time, everything, right? And so eventually she will get tired of this and maybe divorce him. That is when the father figures out what full-time parenting looks like, when he no longer has his crutch in the house.
They did a study on 23,000 women and found single mothers spent less time on household chores and get more sleep than married women with kids. I studied exactly this in my undergrad. I wanted to know before I left my marriage whether or not single motherhood was going to be to my detriment and my kids' detriment. And what they found was that it was all money. If women found a way to be financially independent, then the kids didn't have an issue. They fared better. They were in a loving, stable home. Everything was okay. And the father could still be present, still have visitation, or if they were already not involved, that just continued. Why do you think we see so many celebrity single moms where their kids are raised just fine and everybody is just happy? It comes down to the money. Think about it, ladies.
Okay, so you could be married and be a single mother. That's what I heard. It's so funny because even though I'm good now, I didn't used to be. I used to have the same complaint. So let me talk to you about it, just real quick. I got something to say. You can take it or you cannot. But all I can ask is that you listen. Here we go. You and your husband, or you and your spouse, are two different people. Y'all not the same person. You is you, yeah, and he is he. Or she is she, however you want to do it. Y'all different, okay? Whatever you're thinking, they are not. One more time for the people in the back. That's what they say. You think one way, they don't. What you observe is not what they observe. Y'all are two different people. For example, if you see the trash out of the trash can, right? It's flowing out. You see it, right? You're thinking, this needs to be put up. This needs to go outside. Trash needs to be taken out, right? Hub's over there chilling. He ain't thinking about that because he got his mind on something else. You're thinking of one thing. He's thinking of something else. But you'll say, I know he see that trash the way I see it, but haven't you been in the same place with somebody at the same time and they saw something that you didn't? I'm just saying, it's a benefit of the doubt there, right? It's a possibility he didn't see it. Might not even be that serious to him. So instead of getting mad, just ask. Just ask. There's a video pinned on my page. Just ask. Baby, do you mind taking out the trash? Simple. He gonna either tell you yes or no. 9 times out of 10, he gonna say yes. 9 times out of 10, he gonna say yes. Or 9 times out of 10, he gonna say, I'll do it in a second. Something like that. It ain't that deep. Now you ain't here because you don't want to ask. Now you all mad and angry and bitter. Because you didn't even ask. You expected him to know. When y'all two different people. Same thing go for the kids. We a family of 6 over here. I popped out 4. Yes, I did. I did that. Yes, I did. If you need help with the kids, ask. Sugar, ask. That's it. I promise you. Just try. Some of y'all complaining and hadn't even tried. Just try.
So let me get this straight. I'm supposed to work 40 hours a week. You're going to work 40 hours a week. But then I get to come home, take care of all the kids, take care of all of the household stuff, both inside and out, carry the mental load of everything that has to go on to run this ship smoothly, still pay our bills, and sometimes pay more towards our bills. But I'm supposed to be okay with that while you're sitting on the couch? Or out with your buddies? Or shopping? Please, women don't need you. Women are able to stand on their own 2 feet. That's what a married single mom is. There's a difference between need and there's a difference between want. A married single mother does not need to have a husband. A married single mother may want to have a husband. And that's the biggest pill to swallow when a single married mother is looking to get divorced. The need versus the want. Here are 5 signs that you're a single married mom. 1, if he died tomorrow or you got divorced, nothing's going to change. 2, you could have an affair and he would never know. 3, you do the majority, if not all, of the childcare and housework and you don't get a break. 4, you resent your husband, and I mean resent them for everything, for sitting on the couch while you're doing the laundry, or playing on their phone while you're making lunches and doing bath time. You are the one that's holding down the fort, and you don't get any thanks. And 5, your spouse says to you, hey, just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. But then you have to think about all the stuff you want him to do, and it adds to your mental load.
Hi, how are you? Have you ever heard of married single moms? You've never heard? Okay. Let me show you one. Hi Hannah, I've been following you for a while and would love to get some advice. I am a high school teacher, recently got married. When I was pregnant, my hubby had a girlfriend who they were so close together. I wasn't comfortable with that. I told her to cancel the friendship, but hakuwa anasikia. We always argued about the girl until she wanted to leave, but I fought for him. Or I guess she meant him. Now when I was 8 months pregnant, sikuwa nimebuy nguo za mtoi because I was struggling financially. I hope you understand sometimes we are financially low. Yes, we do understand. Imagine this guy decided aende graduation of that girl na kalala uko. Kumuuliza why he couldn't give me hiyo do ni buying nguo za mtoi. He dismissed me, akaanza propaganda. I kept quiet. I had done some little farming, nikapata do. I thank God. When I gave birth, I went home kwetu for like 3 months. I later realized they met with the girl, nikanyamaza because I didn't want drama. Now the baby is 6 months now. Imagine this dude hajawai nipe do ya kununua nguo ya mtoi. None venye hukua expensive mimi huwa na buy. Diapers is on me. House girl is on me. Imagine hadi food and I ignore. He doesn't want to buy yaki. I'm drained. They're supposed to pay dowry this coming deck. Hannah, will I be selfish? Nikakata walete hiyo dowry home because I think there is no future between me and him. He pretends to love the baby yet he doesn't provide. Mark you, he is a teacher too. We earn the same amount. I will be following in comment section. Now the girl is some few months pregnant. I'm not sure kama she is pregnant for him or not. Well, this is what I call a married single mother. I would not be surprised if that man provides for the other lady. This is just my opinion, me as Hannah. A man that cannot buy none for one child, newborn, first baby. He can't buy none, he can't buy pampers. He cannot feed you and the newborn, that one who is 6 months. That one, what are the odds that this man will pay school fees? Sasa wacha tu shetani akudanganya my sister uende uzae mtoto wa pili wa tatu. You see the way you're feeding this one? You see the way you're taking care of this one? You will take care of the rest. The only difference between you and a single mom, we can see you with a husband in your house. Mtu anunui chakula, mtu hawezi lipa mboch, mtu hawezi buy pampers. Pampers si unatumia. Si wewe unatumia pampers, he cannot buy. Wewe acha tu shetani akudanganye upate watoto wengine wengi. My sister, you will raise them. Moms, most married women, wenye wanaleanga watoto peke yao from food, school fees, every single thing is the mom, inaanzanga at a certain level. So wewe ushafundishwa pampers ni wewe, nani wewe, kila kitu ni wewe. I assure you there's a very high chance huyu hata school fees atalipa. So you go continue. Is it wise? So what is the question? Because we work with questions over here. The question is, Hannah, will I be selfish? Nikakata walete hiyo dowry home. I think my opinion, no, utakuwa umejifunga. Unless sasa asha kuonesha venye life iko. If you accept that is the kind of life you want, well, proceed with the dowry. Otherwise, hii ni kama unajifunga.
So I'll start this video by saying that as women, it's important that you have your own. I'm not talking about like a lot of money or whatever, but even skills to look for money. It's important you have some skills. It's important that you are smart. Let me tell you, don't let your children go through bullshit in the name of you are not able to move out, you are not able to detach from that man because you could not like cater for yourself and your children. Let me tell you, as a woman, when you have your own, you save your children from a lot of nonsense. And especially if they are girls, they learn from you. Let me tell you something. Personally, when I was in a relationship, I was always very tired. Like I had no break for, I think 5 years or whatever. I think this is the time that I've started having a break. And the only reason I'm having a break is because I'm co-parenting. Like the only reason I'm getting free time, I want you to think about that, is because the relationship didn't work out. So I always tell myself, if that relationship worked out, I'd be very miserable. Very. You can't get to sleep in on certain weekends. You can't get to have your you time. I mean, for the lady who says that, try and ask a man. You ladies have not just tried to ask. When you see a lady complaining that she doesn't get any support, trust me, she has asked. And you as a partner, must you be asked? Can't you see your partner struggling with the kids, with the chores? Can't you help? Like, you're a functional human being. If you live somewhere, you have to contribute some type of effort to eat. Like, come on. Like, I don't know how that works. And me, I pity such women, especially women who have multiple kids. So they can't just up and go. And if they do that, they have to leave the kids with the father. And the father is irresponsible. Their kids may suffer. Their kids may be neglected. Let me tell you, when it comes to your kids, you don't compete with a man. Men don't care about kids. My dear, you're the one who created that kid. I'm not saying you do it by yourself, but yes, you slept together. You made that kid, the two of you. But you're the one who, like, developed it in your body. You're the one who has a deep emotional connection, physical wounds, sleepless nights, sagging boobs, stretch marks. Some of us have bellies that have never disappeared. We look like we are still pregnant 5 years later. I mean, like, you're the one who went through the most for that child. Do you think that man cares? That man doesn't care. Me personally, my ex told me anyone can have a child for him. I'm not special. Yeah, like he always says that. Like, ladies, some of us even almost died during births. Let me tell you, these men don't appreciate it. If you're a married single mom, start opening your eyes. Start planning slowly by slowly how you'll get yourself out there. You can even plan for a whole year. Plan, take your time, plan well. And when you leave, you never come back. Never come back, even if you feel how weak, never come back. Let the children go back to their father. You can have your own time. Never go back because you're lonely. And don't jump into another relationship for support. This one you have to do by yourself. You have to support yourself. You have to heal. You have to isolate yourself. Don't go on jumping to another man, especially when you have small children. Don't do that nonsense. You'll spare your children from a lot of trauma. Don't be those moms who, like, bring different men into their children's lives. Like, you confuse your kids. And when they grow up, they'll resent you. They'll wonder what kind of a woman was this, you know? They'll start asking themselves questions and answering them. Be very careful what you show your children. They'll never forget. And there's nothing as worse as feeling alone when you're in a relationship. You know, a lot of times I find people who ask me this question. Men and women, but especially men, like, they ask me, so you're just comfortable being by yourself just like that? And I tell them, yes, why would I need to be with a person? Like, I was with a person and I always felt alone. So right now it's just like, it's even better this way than having a person there who you resent, who is not helping in any way. Like, even these men who help you financially. There are these men who, you're the one who will work and they still won't help anything financially. Me, I've been there. There are men who will financially abuse you. But right now, no one can financially abuse me. I don't care what I tolerated in the past. Right now, there are things I cannot accept. I'm grown. Mentally, I've grown. I've seen things. I'm learning. But we have this point whereby men can take advantage of you, especially when you're naive, you're young. Men can take really good advantage of you. And men know how to lie, to promise you, to do this and this. Like, they're always talking and no action. You know, me personally, that turns me off really bad. So ladies, you know, by the way, it's true. When you become a single mother, something shocking, your chores reduce. Me, mine reduce. Me, I'm so happy. Me, even I can stay with dirty dishes even for 2 days here. Yeah, if I don't feel like doing them, I won't do them. This is my house. As long as nothing is like smelling, whatever, like, as long as they are partially like clean, they're just waiting to just be soaked. Plus, I'm alone. I don't even use dishes that much. I don't cook that much. Like, but if I was in a relationship, oh my God, we'd have to cook every time. You'd have to be washing his clothes, your clothes. Every time I do laundry, I just thank God every time, because I'm not doing no ungrateful man's laundry. Unhelpful man's laundry, you know. No man is using my domestic labor. I'm so, like, ladies, it's so funny, but when you finally become a single mom, like, life gets so much better. You know, in this country, how many stories I've had of women who are the ones who are paying school fees. They go to work, they do the domestic chores. At night they have to satisfy their husbands. I mean, me, I'm not doing all, me by the, hey, I'm never doing all that. I'm never doing all that bullshit. I mean, for who, for what, why, why I did not come to this life to suffer. Oh. Yeah, and the last woman, I forgot to translate what she was saying. The last woman who spoke in Swahili, she was saying that this woman who has been with this guy and the guy has never provided for this baby they have, she'll be very surprised to find out that this guy will provide for the other child that is coming with the next side chick. Yeah, and once you start on a certain road with a man, once you like show a man, I'll be doing everything, I'll even be paying the rent, you'll always pay it, my dear. These men, you don't show them that, they'll take advantage of you. So from the word go, you have to set a strict tone. And if you see, like, especially when you're pregnant and the tone is not yet set, just know you're set like that for life. Don't expect him to change down the line. Don't think that, oh, he'll mature. No. These men never mature. Don't feel mercy for them. No one taught you how to be a mother. You just wake up and be a good mother to your kid however best you can. So why can't he wake up and be a good father and a supportive husband or a supportive boyfriend? Why? Some of these things are just choices when you think of them. It's not that they can't do it. They don't love you enough to do it. They don't care enough to do it. So better save yourself from that situation. And we have these women who are very afraid of being called single mothers. I don't know whether that title just scares them off. Let me tell you, such women, may I heard someone say, you'll be buried. Yes, they'll call us to bury you. Keep staying there. You're a married single mother doing everything. You're being abused. All in the name of you don't want to come out and just live a single life because you're scared of the stigmatization of single moms. My dear, you'll be so drained. And I don't wish that on anybody. But I just wish some women would wake up. Let me tell you, be very concerned with how your life feels and not how it looks. Leave alone how it looks. Just be concerned with how your life feels. That is what is very important. And most people don't understand this. And let me tell you, there's nothing as better as just living your single mom life. You don't have anyone to resent. Like, me, I feel like when you're a married single mom, you'll always resent someone, and that takes a lot from you. Like having to dread the man of the house coming back home. Already that is taking so much energy from you. Me personally, I don't have such stress of dreading anyone coming here. Yeah, I do things at my own time. I sleep however time I want. I put whatever show I want to watch. I cook whatever I want to eat. I mean, life is good. Life is good. Life is good. So ladies, I'm not advertising that people should become single moms, but I'm saying, like, if you're a single mom and you're married, better off just be a single mom, you know? That's the point I'm making in this video. So ladies, I don't know whether you enjoy this video. Myself, I enjoy this video so much. I enjoy this discussion. Please, ladies, I'd love to hear your comments down in the comments section below. And please be honest, are you loving this content? What do you think about my content of late? Ladies, please support this channel, support it. If you feel like you can support further, you can throw in a super thanks, like you can do anything. Ladies, I really appreciate even you watching this video. Subscribe to this channel, like, share this video forward for whoever you know may need it. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.